Fred Claus, A Journey from Resentment to Redemption. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village long, long ago, a baby named Nicholas was born. He was a pure-hearted boy, so kind and selfless that he grew up to become the legend we all know as Santa Claus. But this isn't his story. This is the story of his older brother, Fred Claus, a man who lived in his brother's massive shadow and carried a chip on his shoulder for most of his life. Fred was the opposite of his jolly younger sibling. Where Nick was adored and admired, Fred felt overlooked and unappreciated. Over time, bitterness consumed him, and he grew into a cynical man who wanted nothing to do with Christmas or his brother. Fast forward to modern-day Chicago, where Fred is struggling to make ends meet as a repo man, taking back goods from people who can't pay their bills. Fred's relationships aren't faring much better. He's estranged from his family and on shaky ground with his girlfriend Wanda, who feels he's unable to commit. One day, Fred finds himself in trouble with the law. He's arrested, and the only person he can turn to for bail money is, you guessed it, Nick. Santa agrees to help Fred, but on one condition. Fred must come to the North Pole and help out in Santa's workshop during the busy holiday season. Reluctantly, Fred agrees, and off he goes to a magical world full of elves, reindeer, and holiday cheer, a place that couldn't be more different from his cynical outlook. But things aren't perfect at the North Pole. A stern efficiency expert named Clyde is there, threatening to shut down the entire Christmas operation if productivity doesn't improve. This adds even more tension between Fred and Nick, whose relationship is already on thin ice. Fred's job is simple. He's in charge of stamping nice or naughty on kids' files. But Fred's unconventional ways soon cause chaos. He stamps everyone as nice, believing no child deserves to be labeled as naughty. While this act of kindness causes logistical headaches, it reveals Fred's buried compassion. Meanwhile, old family wounds resurface. Fred and Nick argue about the past, with Fred accusing Nick of always being the golden child while he was left to fend for himself. But deep down, Fred's actions show he cares more than he lets on. He bonds with some of the elves, dances with them to rubbernecking, and even teaches Santa's timid assistant Willie how to win over his crush, the beautiful elf Charlene. As Christmas Eve approaches, disaster strikes. Clyde manipulates the situation, and Santa's operations grind to a halt. It looks like Christmas might be canceled. But Fred steps up in an unexpected way. For the first time, he puts aside his resentment and takes responsibility. He dons the iconic red suit, climbs into the sleigh, and delivers presents to children all over the world. In the process, Fred rediscovers the joy and magic of Christmas. His selfless act saves Christmas and mends his relationship with Nick. By morning, Fred has grown into a better man, someone who understands the power of family, forgiveness, and love. As the brothers share a heartfelt hug, Fred returns to Chicago with a renewed sense of purpose. He proposes to Wanda, ready to embrace a brighter future. And at the North Pole, the Claus family finds peace, proving that even the naughtiest among us can turn things around with a little love and understanding. And so, the tale of Fred Claus reminds us that every family has its challenges, but with forgiveness and a touch of holiday magic, anything is possible.